Yeah, we find her, the beautiful girl we've been missing. We wanna have her kissing. We find her, now we in love. Say go so, the remix.
DMB, Tuck Spice, remix.
Now if I had to lose you like a bad phone connection, I'd change my game to get a better reception. Sit back, let's start this interaction. Don't fight the feelings, just a chain reaction. Your heart won't give you the wrong instructions. Like my GPS, yes I got the right direction. We gotta merge together like a road intersection. Last stop is gonna be my love and affection. I ain't like the mother dudes, they wanna call you shorty, but I'ma call you a beautiful girl. I took your picture home, my mama saw it, she's a very, very beautiful girl. I wanna put you in my video, cause you're so beautiful. You're a beautiful girl. So when you hear us on your radio, turn up your stereo. It's beautiful girl.
Gotta find a shorty, what's worth of a lady. It's nice but maybe doesn't look like 40. It's taking a little time. I wasn't seeing no signs, any traces of my baby. Who's gonna be my baby? But I thought I'm gonna take my time with things to go off an eye. I saw a shorty passing by. She's got this very pretty smile. It was right at the bus station. I tried to make a conversation, holding her arms, feeling so charmed. I felt the sensation. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Now I realize I found me a beautiful girl. She's a model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it by. Beautiful girl, sparkling eyes, a killing thigh. I found me a beautiful girl.
Body me LP, oh yeah, nah.
My wish came true when I saw you, girl. God must have blessed me with your beauty, girl. Looking so right from your head to your toe. Shaped like a Coke bottle with a smile of a queen. My queen to be, you my destiny. Got a body of a goddess with your beauty. I'm impressed and I'm never in distress. Come on over and be mine. Been searching for a man now. All the cats keep looking to mine. With a sexy walk and a sexy talk. She must be from a planet called the sexy world. I know I ain't tripping, better yet I'm thinking put a ring on the finger. We look good together. Take your place in my heart. With your beauty I'ma say that I'll never turn away. Who would think I'm in love?
Such the way she smiles at me just really makes me weak. The way she speaks to me just really make me go so weak. Keep staring in her eyebrows. All I kept on saying is wow. If you touch as a breeze at night, all I really want in my life. Oh yeah, it's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine, brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it. Beautiful girl, sparkling eyes, killing thigh. I found me a beautiful girl. Yeah, beautiful girl, most beautiful girl. Yeah. Beautiful girl.
Damn. Money, you seen her? Hot Ice, have you seen her? LP, have you seen her? I'ma go over to Tux Bites. I know you've probably seen her. He has a lot of beautiful girls with him. Tux, it's DMB, baby. Look,
Beautiful.
I look for a while, but I can't seem to find a beautiful girl so I can make her mine. Time after time I've been searching for a while, but every girl I meet never seems worthwhile. What can I do? I pray to God for an answer. I feel pains in my heart like cancer, and when I find her, I'm gonna romance her. Lace several presents and gifts, call me Santa Claus. I make a heartbeat pause. That's my girl, homeboy, not yours. The girl of my dreams, she's more than I ever thought. Show me Aston Kutcher, I think I'm getting punked. She's what I really want, so I'ma go get her. Since I'm a go getter, you know I'm gon' get her. And I will give her the world, anything for my beautiful girl.
Psych. Ooh, it's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine, brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it. Beautiful girl, sparkling eyes, killing thigh.
as you're touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
Man of prestige. Ha! Now this guy win. Now you win. Now you win today. Now you win. Now you win. I agree. Man of prestige. Now man you be.
I'm sure some people will be jealous now the way I talk about Ola. But I have learned a lot from him. That's why I keep telling you to follow him. If you don't follow Man of Prestige, now you know.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Shout out to you guys. Welcome back. This is part 2 and maybe some Q&A for the session we just did on Antibe's platform. Welcome. Do me a favor. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn on notifications so you're notified when we go live. Just check and make sure the audio is good. All right, we're not going to be long here. I just wanted to make sure that we have another opportunity to maybe answer some questions, address some issues, some small stuff. Happy Sunday to you all. I'm back in the studio, as I said. And shout out to all the sponsors. I appreciate you as always. My name is Ola. I'm coming to you live from my Empire Pro Studios. Shout out to our sponsors, Mo Fresh. And shout out to Mo Fresh. She sent $20 in from PayPal yesterday. So we do have the PayPal. You can donate using the PayPal. Let's see. You can see it scrolling on the screen right now. The PayPal is email is ask@manofprestige.com. And then Cash App is $manofprestige. And of course, Super Chat is perfectly fine right here with the $sign inside of the box. So shout out to everybody for always supporting. I appreciate you all. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications. What we do here is we talk about life and relationships. We extract lessons from trendy topics. I'm also a marriage and relationship coach. So if you want to reach out to me, just simply go to manofprestige.com and you can download this book for free right here. Get My Marriage Back. And number one red flag, they're free. So if you're a good reader, these are good books that you can get a lot from. This one has our stories. So I'm not just some random people that fell out of the skies. This is personal experiences and lots of ongoing research going on behind the scenes that allows me to come here from time to time. So you can download these books for free at manofprestige.com. All right. Hey, Babes Win, good to see you. Welcome. Help me hit the like button as you're coming in. The other thing I wanted to do is make sure we cover some of our house rules. Please hit the like button. Thank you. Share. This is again second part to what we just did on Antibe's platform. Did you hit the like button? Please hit the like button. Let's do that right now before we get going. Again, I'm going to try not to spend too long here today. If you're coming from Antibe's platform earlier on today, you can reach me by simply sending a text message to 732-305, a WhatsApp text message. Okay, 732-305-8577 +1 country code. Hold on one second. All right. Let's see. Sparkleberry said missed the first part. Well, you can always catch up. Welcome, Sparkleberry. Shout out to you. And shout out to, again, like I said, shout out to all the, Sparkleberry is one of our sponsors. We also have Chidima, we have Yes TV, we have D-Law, we have Gores Corner, we have Open Floor by Tima. Tima, we miss you. Where have you been? I know you've been watching recordings, right? Well, welcome. Film Girl too. I haven't seen you in a day, in some, I don't know, 2 weeks or so. In a while. Adesua, shout out to you. I appreciate you always. All right. So let's talk. Today, again, just a little bit. Just want to catch up, make sure that we cover some of the conversations that we might have missed earlier on. I did give like 12 point problems that modern marriages are going through. But I'm not going to spend too much time digging through them because honestly 12 is an exhausted list, and probably some of those things on that list are interwoven. Okay, so all right, so also I want you to be on the lookout for a video that I'm going to drop later on this week. It's called The Relationships Problem, That Game, 4 Ways to Level Up Now. So be on the lookout of that on our secondary channel, which is Prestige Marriage Academy. If you haven't subscribed to that channel yet, go subscribe to it. It doesn't matter if you're not yet married. These are things that you need to learn. Okay, these are things that you need to learn. Please keep that at the back of your mind. So as I said earlier, there are a couple of things that people tend to blame when their marriage falls apart. Usually not self. Okay, they might blame their partner, but they might also blame the devil's attack. They might blame their partner for pretending all along. You know, I can't listen. Most of this are just how you feel. I cannot invalidate how you feel. But if after expressing how you feel, you still notice that you're encountering the same problem, you might want to pay attention to maybe that's not it. Maybe there's other issues. So people might say their partner, they might say it's a devil's attack from the village. Some people will say it's because you japa, you should never take your wife abroad. Some people will say they married the wrong person because of bad vetting. So, you know, the title here was why modern marriages are failing miserably, even with the right person. And what I mean by that is, just if it's just failing, it to be okay, move on. Everybody should move on. But unfortunately, people come out of these situations wounded, badly, miserably, and then they translate some of these wounds into, they try to move on, they try to go into another relationship thinking that their partner was the issue, you know. But the reality is that there's more to it. There's more to it. Definitely, there's more to it. So it's never as simple as, it's the devil's attack. It's any of that stuff. It's never that simple. Or somehow your partner, all they want to do is spend their life pretending to be what you didn't want, and then years down the line they show their true colors, but it was all about hurting you. Keep in mind, it doesn't mean they didn't hurt you, but the idea that it's just all intentional from the get-go, that's just a way for you to feel better, I guess. But if you notice, after you say things like that, you still don't feel better. All right, so then you married the wrong person. Bad vetting. You should have vetted, blah, blah, blah. You should vet, okay? You're not wrong. You should vet. But honestly, I think the issues are much more than that. Or maybe actually simpler than that. Maybe you're not open-minded to consider other angles, okay? So there are many, many reasons why modern marriages are failing miserably. Many, many reasons. But we can drill it down to two things for the most part. Two things, okay? Number one, coconut head. Okay, coconut head. Sometimes the coconut head is justified. Okay, the person actually hurt you. The person actually hurt you. Right? And other times it doesn't matter. But the reality is that no one is going to come out of the streets and hurt you. It's going to be somebody that you're sleeping with, the closest person to you. Sometimes they're your children. These are the people that will hurt you the most. It's called friction. It's called friction in relationships. When you are collaborating with other people to do life in any way, shape, or form, there will be friction sometimes. So it's about do you know what to do with that friction? Are you aware that this friction is they're actually opportunities? Because they are problems, right? Problems are opportunities. right? So if you can't see that far, then you're just looking for angles where you can continue to tell yourself that you've been innocent. Just somebody's trying to hurt you. And then you get stuck right there. But then you continue the same, right? Anyway, hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications. If you have any questions, drop them, put a Q. If you don't have any questions, I have questions, okay? If you don't have any questions, I have questions. And then also, I'm rounding up in about 40 minutes, okay? This is a very short one. This is not a regular session. I just wanted to make sure I create an opportunity to have a follow-up, okay? So even if I shut it down in 30 to 40 minutes time, you can always use the comment area. That's what this video is for. All right, the second, so we've talked about why modern marriages are failing miserably. There's about 12 reasons. I'll get into that. But the second part is the myth of the right person, right? The myth of the right person. Just if I find the right person, marriage will be perfect. Oftentimes, you find experienced people saying this to young people as an advice, but you might be hurting them actually. You might be, not always true. You might hurt the youngest, the youngins coming from behind us by telling them to just make sure they find the right person. Some people get extremely obsessed with that. They're not open-minded enough to even see a wife or a husband when it's right in front of them, because they're looking for the right person. Sometimes the people that are telling people to look for the right person is a prophet in a church somewhere. They actually give them a name. They will give them an actual name. Sometimes they give married people names, that this is not the person you were supposed to marry to. You were supposed to marry this person. Some people might say you were supposed to marry a Shegun, and you're married to Chukudi. Very, very dangerous part of our society. So there is the myth of the right person. It's a myth, all right? The people that seem like they've gotten with the right person, it could be as simple as they were attracted to the person, and then over a long run, they've gone through their own fair share of crisis, conflict. They've come out through the other side, and to you, they look like relationship goals, and it looks like that person found the right person. Yeah, not so simple, not easy, Tiger. Okay? It's not that simple. I know that's like an easy way for you to get out and run away with that rhetoric, like if you just find the right person. But do you notice that you get stuck looking for the right person for a long time? Do you notice that everybody is saying the same thing? Right? If it's that simple, everybody just find the right person and they'll be together forever, right? It's not that simple. And also, if you're already married, you don't have the luxury to say stuff like that to yourself. If the grass seems greener on the other side, it's because somebody is watering the grass. I promise you. They didn't say, oh, it was just the right grass. No, somebody is watering the grass. That's why. That's why it seems greener. Or the grass is fake, synthetic. Okay? You can notice it's too green. It's just too good to be perfect. It could be. If it seems too good to be true, it probably is. Probably is, right? So, the myth of the right persons. Even with the right persons, marriages are failing miserably everywhere. Up to 75% of marriages that are happening in these modern times, they don't stand a chance. So what are you going to do with that? The good news is that you can absolutely change that. Your reality does not have to be what the stats says. Okay? Gentlemen, just because 80% of divorces are initiated by women, which a lot of you are misquoting all over the place, just because doesn't have to be your reality. And the more you focus on that, the higher the chances it's going to become your reality. Does that make sense? The more you focus on that, the higher the chances it's going to become your reality. Stay with me here. There's many misquotings going on the social media that you need to consider red flags when you see them. When somebody say, hey, if I start calling name, I can call about 15 people right now that all of them, their marriage is just because they brought their wife abroad. they've ended up in the poto. If somebody says things like that, that's red flag. Run away from them. They have nothing to teach you. If you're connecting with what they're saying, relating with, you need to check yourself. There's something in your past experiences that's aligning what they're saying. And that thing is going to keep haunting you. So make sure you do the work on yourself. Healing, okay? There's an influencer that actually said he get 30 emails in 1 week of people that brought their wife abroad. And they are all in the poto. Well, an influencer is standing on a stage. A bunch of people are looking at them, right? So out of a bunch of people that are looking at them, a certain percentage, they might have 600, 700, 1,000 people watching them live at any point in time. And that person is getting 30 emails per 1 week. Do the math. That's a low percentage, okay? And then when you consider the fact that people tend to relate with just negative aspects of news, it makes sense that many people would be emailing because, you know, they can connect with the negative aspect of it, right? But the same thing is true across the board. I'm just saying, when people are just focused on telling you the worst case scenarios of marriages and stuff like that, and they're standing on the stage, be careful. I also tell you that 75% of marriages are just in a funk, okay? But I also provide solution. I also tell you that it doesn't have to be your reality. There's nothing you look at in life. All of the different success stories, right? There's a downside. There's always a bad side of the story, but we tell you the part that encourages you. There's nothing that's successful in life that when you look at how many people actually got started and try to make the best out of it, it's always a small percentage that wins, right? It's a small percentage of people that apply to a university that will actually get admission. So there's nothing special about the fact that, you know, only 25% of marriages or less are actually they're actually in a fulfilling situation. There's nothing special about that, but you get to choose, okay? You get to choose which side of that equation you fall on. It's up to you. It's completely up to you. All right. There's somebody said, I mentioned this earlier on TB show. My brother brought someone from Nigeria. She hasn't even graduated, but she started sleeping with somebody. Let me even add on to that. I have a friend that the brother ended up with somebody who completely, now there's all type of questions around the paternity of their child together. But she was actually caught sleeping with another man in another apartment down the streets. Those are two different cases, scenarios that I just gave you. Does that become majority of people? Probably not, okay? There's still minority of people that end up in this kind of situation. But when you hear it and you can relate with that kind of story, it hits a nerve, right? And then you start, then fear creeps in, and then you know you attract what you fear the most. Even if it doesn't happen in reality, in your mind, you will continue to play defense, trying to protect yourself from this, but that's like your life running away in front of you. You're wasting a lot of time trying to play defense. Gotta pay attention. So one person will tell you a story, you tag onto it and you make it your reality. I just told you an additional one, right? I'm sure there's another person that will listen and say, hey, I'm telling you, be careful what you're listening to out there. Okay? Then somebody, I mentioned this earlier too. Somebody said a man created unnecessary fights after being imported so he can go and bring his girlfriend from Nigeria. So you imported the man and he just started creating unnecessary fights so he can bring his girlfriend from Nigeria. Really? Is it that simple? Really? Am I saying it didn't happen? No. It's probably happened. Even worst case scenarios happen, right? But there's usually either the worst case or this particular one I just showed you. There's usually some in-betweens. There's usually some things that happen there, right? There's the rest of the story, right? And you're not listening to the rest of the story so you can judge and say one person is wrong or the other. You're listening to the rest of the story so you don't just walk around spending your life playing defense. If you walk around spending your life chasing away enemies, the thief, right? The actual thief is going to come in and invade your space and steal your joy away. Okay? If you spend most of your time chasing away the enemy, you will leave your stores open, you will leave your treasures open for the devil to actually steal everything away. They will leave you empty. Very, very important. So pay attention to the kind of content you're consuming. This person actually said, based on statistics, women walk away from marriages, especially when they move abroad. 80% of women walk away from marriage according to statistics. That's not the statistics. That statistics is so remember, he heard it from somewhere and he kept quoting it. This person was actually quoting it and quoting it over and over. 80%, the actual number is that 70 to 80% of divorces are initiated by women. The actual filing of the paper are initiated by women, up to 90% for college-educated women. But divorce initiation doesn't start there. It starts long before that. Let me come to the chat. Sorry about that. It starts long before people start initiating divorce. I was just about to say that, MOP, what happened in between? What's the full story? How did they get to that point? Exactly. So these things happen, but something about you keep focusing on the worst case scenario, but you refuse to bring us the full story. I wonder why. It could be many reasons. Maybe you're not capable of. That's just how you think in very myopic ways. You're not able to think deeper. That way. Sure. Extremes like that happen. Extreme cases like that happen. But if we're going to use that and paint that around town like it's absolute, maybe we should tell people also the rest of the story. Tell them the rest of the story. Right? Maybe you're not patient enough to tell them the rest of the story, just like you tend not to be patient with your partner in a relationship. But please stop the cap. Let's actually some people, they will actually tag along with what you're saying. Their life will be destroyed just because you said the wrong thing. So 80% of women walk away from marriage according to statistics. So if a man exists and his wife has walked away from him, that's 100% of the wives he's had walked away from his marriage. Is it easy for him to listen to what this person said and make it the truth? It's super easy because they are operating from a place of emotion. This is their reality, is their truth. So as a matter of fact, they will be told that 80%, no, I think most of them, because when something like that happens to you, your wife walks away from your marriage, what happens is that you keep looking for more stories like it naturally. Kind of like if you buy a 5 Series BMW, right? You tend to look around for it. It's always been there, but you start seeing it suddenly more, right? You just keep seeing them more and more, right? Because, or maybe you went at those test drive one, right? You test drive a very nice car, a certain type of Maserati with a specific model. Now suddenly you start seeing those models everywhere, right? I was just on the car rental. I think it's called a Hyundai Kano? I don't remember. Kano with a K. Kuna. Is it Kona? Kona. Right? A beautiful automobile. Right? In the past 48 hours, I've been seeing them everywhere. That's just the way it works. Do you think they just started being everywhere? No, it's just the way the mind works. So if you're divorced and your wife walked away from you, the only wife you've ever had, that's 100%. Your mind keeps thinking that. So you're looking for what they call the confirmation bias, something to confirm the existing bias that you have. So if a person is on a stage, a very massive stage somewhere, where about 1,000 people are watching them, and they say things like 80% of women walk away from marriage according to statistics, and you've experienced this. Now your wife has walked away, but you're not done. You're a romantic, helpless, hopeless romantic. You are a lover boy. You want a wife who will fall in love with you, heads over heel, and take care of you and be there and take care of your children. You still want that someday, right? You notice the news coming out about Sharon Oja's wife. The guy, this is his 4th wedding. The most recent wedding will actually happen in 2022. Lano, right? But he's hopeless. He found another girl that he's interested in. He's marrying her again. There's no crime in that. If you're going to move on to actually still attempt marriage and you're walking around with such statistics in your head, even the real statistics, just every negative story about marriage is what you're walking around with, you're going to attract what you fear the most. Just because you'll be trying to, naturally speaking, you want to defend yourself, but when you do that, you take away playfulness, freedom away from your romantic relationship, that person will dump you again. So there's a lot of problem in some of the majority of these conversations going on the internet, but we can't stop them because this is social media and you can't stop them. The only thing you can do is pay attention to the kind of content you're consuming, particularly the kind of content that attracts you, because it's not anybody's fault that you're attracted to such content. It's still your responsibility to filter the kind of content you're feeding yourself. So the statistics is not only is it wrong, even if he said it right, like up to 90% of college educated initiate the divorce, you still don't want to be walking away with such energy. You will attract what you fear the most. Welcome, Flavia TV. Good to see you here. Yes, it's like walking on eggshell. If you're going to walk on eggshell in a marriage, just get out of it. It's not worth it. You can actually have a good life without marriage. It's not worth it. Marriage is awesome, beautiful. No, the level of leverage that a good marriage brings to your life, you can't match it being a single person. Let me just warn you. However, the same thing is true on the opposite when it comes to being in a toxic marriage. It will milk you of everything, steal your joy away. You have no chance at being successful at anything in this life, including stuff outside of the marriage, because it affects your mental health. Hey, Ola, welcome. Ola says, marriage is a topic that sparks both intrigue and skepticism depending on who you ask. Each person's experience is unique. No right answers. Hey, it is what it is. We're not looking for right answer. We're looking for good experiences. We're looking for good experiences. Let's keep going. Thank you for that. So these are some of the things that people are telling themselves. Somebody said men misbehaving in Nigeria is relative. Onyibo people do not have culture. So somebody was saying men are misbehaving in the overseas. And the person's response is that, well, men misbehaving in the overseas, in the abroad, is relative because Onyibo people don't have culture. It's one of the most ignorant things I see people say all the time. Okay? That's one of the most ignorant things I see people say all the time, that Onyibo people or Americans don't have culture. It's the most ignorant thing ever. All right? It's the most ignorant thing. They don't have your culture, sure. But that they don't have culture at all? What do you mean? Killer mean by they don't have culture. When Nigerians says Onyibo people don't have culture, okay, what can somebody elaborate? Can somebody explain to me what they mean by saying that? Okay. I don't like going into dictionary meanings, but let's just start from there, right? Culture is a concept that encompasses the social behavior, institutions, and norms found in human societies, as well as the knowledge, beliefs, hearts, laws, customs, capabilities, and habits of the individuals in these groups. Culture is often originated from or attributed to a specific region and location. Just because people don't have the same culture you have doesn't mean they don't have culture. Culture is an English word, right? I'm sure that has deep roots in Latin or Greek or something like that, right? A way of life that a group of people tend to So when they say, okay, let's go back to the context of the conversation, right? Onyibo people, they don't have culture. So when you say men are misbehaving in America, what do you mean? I get what that person is going at. I see where that person is getting at. Okay, but when you had a very wrong statement, an ignorant statement to it, it kind of like messes things up very, 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 it messes things up badly, But let's go back to the conversation. Okay, the accurate way to say that is that Oyinbo's culture is different, right? They have a different culture. So when you say your Nigerian husband misbehaves, what do you mean? Are you aware that as men are complaining in Nigeria, men are complaining in India, they're complaining in Singapore, they're complaining in Thailand, in Brazil, they are complaining about their own women. They always fantasize about other side of women. Vice versa, women are complaining like that. All right. Women are also complaining. They're also fantasizing about other group of people. They think the grass is greener on the other side, right? But they're wrong. You're wrong. You can have preferences. That's not necessarily what you're accustomed to. But please call it preferences. Don't go in the direction of some are just worse than the other. Okay, back to the conversation. A bunch of women complaining that men are misbehaving in the abroad. The actual question is, what do you mean? Because did you consider cultural and societal shift moving to the abroad? Did you consider that before you make that statement? Have you considered the cultural and societal shift? Because if you moved abroad, there's going to be a shock. There's going to be a cultural shock in your system, right? If you consider what I said earlier, I don't know if I said it already. Yeah, I said it. There's 3 reasons. I said it, but I'll repeat it just in case I didn't say it. There are 3 reasons, 3 things you should pay attention to with modern marriages. Dual income households, right? Which means me and you now, we are mates, right? Because I'm making money, you're making just as much money, right? So that means you work as much as I work, but probably more too, depending on what you do, right? You're probably working more. And because of that, there's something we call the evolving gender roles, right? So because we work the same number of hours, right? So as soon as I came home, you left earlier than I did. You left 6 a.m. and you're back in the house 6 a.m. You were gone 12 hours as a lady, as my lady, right? I left the house at 8 because I'm trying to make it to work at 9 to 5, right? So I'm at work at 9. I commute about 1 hour. I don't leave work until 5, but the traffic is heavy, right, in my route. So I make it home by about 8 p.m. in the evening because of traffic and all of that, right? You're already home for about 1 hour, okay? You're the lady. You pick up your babies, our babies, right? See how I corrected that, right? You picked up our babies. You're in the house. You did the food and all that kind of stuff. As soon as I walked into the house, 8 p.m., everybody's kind of settled in. In about 30 minutes, we're probably going to say a nice prayer and send everybody to bed, the kids to bed, right? But then you're my lady and you start to complain. I say, you didn't start complaining. I came to the sink. I see a bunch of dirty dishes in the sink, right? And I'm like, babe, there's dirty dishes in the sink. And then you go, you two, can't you wash it? You two, can't you wash it? Right? Now, are you wrong? No, it's not about being wrong. What did Sparkleberry or who was that? I think it was, who said there's, no right answers. Yeah, Ola says no right answers earlier on, right? Are you wrong? You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Right? But somehow I got caught up in my feelings. I'm like, me too, wash it. What do you mean by that?
Well, you're right.
Right? So, and I know in my heart as a man, these are the complicated issues going on in marriage. It's not as simple as, oh, women are just living. It's never that simple. You're trying to oversimplify it. It's because somebody jackpot. It's because you're now disrespectful. All that stuff is oversimplified, spelling out the problems. You have no solution still. You can't have solution because you don't take the time to really dissect what's going on. To understand your own story. How did you get here in the first place? What else is going on behind the scenes? Things like cultural shift. Me, that I used to be a manager of a bank, right? I've had to humble myself, but somehow now I'm doing a 9 to 5. I'm a little okay. I came in at 8 p.m. I see dirty dishes, right? You're not wrong. You need the help. You need help. We should definitely be considered, right? That you need the help. Some men would just straight go like, she's just lazy, right? The wife just run her mouth like, you two, can't you do it? He's caught up in his feelings. He can't tell you because he's actually tired of having to say things like this, and he's ending up in conversations, heated conversations all the time. So he spoke to one of his boys at the barber shop, and he's like, don't engage women like that. Just ignore them. Right? So he's actually afraid, believe it or not. He's actually scared of telling you the actual truth of what's going on with him. He's not able to say, babe, of course, I got you. I can help you anytime. But God damn, the tone. Okay, you know I love you, right? All you have to do is ask me. I'm always here to help. Right? He doesn't know enough to actually clean it. Like, I got you. I'm cleaning right now. And then after I say, babe, I felt some type of way, you telling me the way you told me. Of course I should help you. But the way you told me just made me feel like, right? He's not able to express himself. Because before he starts saying, you're saying, whoa. Right? Any kind of go say to, he said to, you say to. Yoruba people have a proverb say, anytime go say to, don't only say to. They told you to do to, you said you cannot do to. Right? These are the issues going on inside the marriage. It's never as simple as you're right and I'm wrong. It's never as simple as that. There are emotions playing up behind the scenes. Some of these emotions have been pre-programmed there long before you met that person. We're talking about 18 plus years before you met that person. So the way they respond to some of these small conflict and crises, you could never tell. They might have been bottling things up for a long time. But you just don't know. You didn't know. You had no idea. You didn't know what you did not know. And your own emotions, you're caught up in your own emotions too. So it's like we were saying on RTB session, like, how do you actively listen when you're also caught up in your own emotions? When you also feel some type of way. So you're saying that's not fair. Why should I be the one first to do something first? Now I'm talking about to take the higher road, to apologize first, to beg her all the time. Right? The last time that somebody was actually giving you lots of grace, they gave you grace. The whole point of grace is that you're not supposed to know. They just kind of let it slide. So now today they remind you, it's like, but I cannot give you grace all the time. And then you're like, how do you give me grace all the time? That's the point. They gave you grace. You're not supposed to know when they gave you grace. They just let the issue slide, right? So this is where some people will say, well, that's why you should communicate all the time. Well, sure, absolutely. It's not about communicating, it's how you communicate. Do you have effective communication skills with respect to the actual dynamic inside of your own relationship? Hence, what somebody said earlier on, unique. The solutions we'll come up with, while it follows similar principles, not similar, the same principles, it's unique how we apply it to your story from people to people to people. And that's why generalized talking points on the internet are dangerous, and they are making marriages, modern marriages, they are failing miserably. Everybody just wants to be right. And the problem is that you don't really need to be right. Not when you're dealing with your spouse. That's your spouse. They're supposed to be on the same team. If you're right and they're wrong, that automatically makes you what? Wrong. That makes you wrong. You might not know it yet, but yeah, that resentment is going to come back and bite you in the butt. Okay? So they will say things like men are domesticated in the abroad. Okay? Men are made more feminine. They are emasculated or effeminated, right? Because they've attached their masculine energy, they've assigned it to just a matter of keeping your home together. It's just a matter of keeping your home together. That's what it comes down to. It depends on how you handle it. If somebody says something, you make you feel some type of way. The reason why you feel that way, gentlemen, is because there's deeply rooted ideologies you subscribed to that is not serving you right now. And you're having a hard time. You have coconut head of letting them go. Okay? I'm not asking you to wash butter for your wife. But honestly, whatever you wash for your wife, if this is a wife that you value, that brings a lot more value to your world, you might want to change your meanings around some of these specifics, right? And even if you really don't like it, you can express yourself, babe, maybe you feel sometimes I don't want to wash butter. I'd rather not wash butter. That's kind of weird. If a woman feels safe and secure around you, she will let you slide. She will not force you to wash butter. You don't have to wash butter. I'm not asking you to wash butter, but learning how to communicate, learning how to make a woman feel safe and secure so she can let you slide and give you tons of grace. It's a skill set. These are things that most of our fathers, they didn't teach us, not because they didn't want to teach you. It's because that wasn't their world. They came from a different era, context. So there's no way they could have taught you. Okay? And by the way, they probably taught you in one shape or form or the other. It's probably different in translations, and they might use a different sentence structure that you couldn't really get it. I'll give you an example. I sing a song here all the time. I say, Suru la fi shoko bini. Right? I say that here all the time. That means let me do a translation real quick. The way you be an effective husband is patience. Right? When you were hearing that song growing up in the 80s, 90s, the actual meaning never really registered for you. You just heard it around the house, cassette tapes and stuff like that. You just heard it on the move, but you never paid attention to why they said what they said. It's not your fault that you didn't pay attention. You couldn't comprehend what you were. It's just music as far as you're concerned. But eventually, when you're living life, you start to pay attention to it, right? Ladies, they might tell you, right? Well, they say that only because it rhymes, okay? The point that that means your husband's house is a place of learning. You go there to learn, right? There's no lies about that, but they only teach that to women. Really? No, it's only because it rhymes. For all of us, okay, I agree with you. For all of us, as even men, you go into a marriage, you're going to learn a lot more than you know about life already, right? But I get it. Sometimes you overreact to some of these talking points because you're also interpreting them from a place of pain. Men will say, happy wife, happy life. Don't tell me that nonsense. What about me? I'm like, yeah. Ask yourself that question. What about you? Why are you aggravated? Do you like your own soft life? Why are you so angry right now? Because I think you should be happy too. But you seem to be angry with yourself because you are taking that saying literally. I get you. Some people actually take it literally. They don't know how to take care of themselves. Well, many women will also tell you that they've lost themselves. They didn't take care of themselves. Guess what? Most people, when they enter marriage, complacency, they lose themselves. Man and woman, they stop taking care of themselves. It's a problem across the board. It's not a gender thing. So when you engage some of these gender warrior talking points, you take it back to your marriage, you create more problems for yourself. Because you get caught up in your emotions, you get stuck there. Gotta be careful. All right. Let me come to the chat a little bit. Sparkleberry says we have culture. We all have culture, right? We all have differences. Yep. Babe Win said they have culture, and that's what our people are envious of and want to copy. We want to japa, but we want to deny that they have culture just because it's not the same. Like, come on. You're not doing yourself a favor when you do that. And yes, when you move to America or you're living in a world that's filled with a lot of white assimilation behavior, it's just what it is. You can decide not to do white people stuff, right? But please don't try to manipulate other people to follow your own lane. Some people are just open to however the world is, whatever direction is evolving or devolving to. That's life itself. You can't just sit around your own moral standard stones and like chanting, devolving. No, you're lying to yourselves. If you have a certain type of preference, you want to do things the traditional black magic way, do you? But if you're married to another human being, you have to leave some room that's another human being. Anyway, I feel there's a lot of competition in marriages. We all have our strengths and people need to go back to the drawing board and reevaluate themselves. That's accurate. Because remember we're talking about the gender roles and all this kind of stuff, right? What most people do is they get into not just the comparison syndrome comes in actually two different forms. There's a comparing yourself to your wife or your husband, and there's comparing your wife or your husband to other people. Both of these will create negative effects. What you need to be focused on is taking the time to identify everybody's strengths and weaknesses and learning how to leverage that to build what you want. That's what you need to be doing, as opposed to looking for, some people are looking for compatibility. They want you to be equally, quote unquote, equally the way they are. Okay, I wash one plate, you wash one plate. I clean the diapers, you clean the diapers. Please don't go into a marriage, go do that. Don't do that, okay? Don't do that. If a man wants to clean diapers with you, a reasonable man will actually do it, okay, before you ask. But the way you talk can absolutely destroy everything. He still wants to feel like the Adeori. As a matter of fact, forget that. I know that might trigger you, but check this out. You want to feel like you have an Adeori, like you have a crown, a man that you can look up to. Why don't we focus on making that happen as opposed to the tit for tat? You two, you did this, but that's not fair. That's not fair. That's a feeling. Okay? Because you can't even tell me, if I asked you, how exactly would you want it to be fair? How do we count this on hands? How many do you do? How many? You can't even tell me yet. So this is a feeling. So let's get down to the fact that it's a feeling, it's part of your emotions. Let's work with emotional intelligence when you're working with this thing. It's not about the specific. I know men right now, they're cleaning diapers, they're washing all the plates, and they're doing everything they're supposed to do. Is still not enough because they are using the wrong solutions from the wrong problem. It's still enough because she doesn't feel safe and secure. Maybe his mouth is too sharp. And now she's like, well, you do all these things that you expect me to, and then, she doesn't feel safe. The issues are usually emotional in nature. The rest of it can be sorted out. When people feel right, when a man feels like your king, he will wash bata. Do you understand me? Listen to me. Don't take it literally. If a man feels admired, respected, if he feels loyalty, like you're there, he will wash bata. Well, if everything is failing, he better know what he's doing, because at the end of the day, he's the leader. He better know what he's doing. Anyway, we all have strengths and people need to go back to the drawing board. Yes, I agree with that. You can even wash pata, we don't care. That's true. Means you do whatever in your closet. That's a fact. That's exactly what I was saying. Thank you so much for that. What is pata asking for a friend? It's underwear. We call it underwear in America. We call it pint in Nigeria. We call it pint in Nigeria. So let's keep going. So this person was keep trying to justify, and he said there are mental issues in the abroad. Kilamisa, what do you mean? Does that mean there's no mental issues in Nigeria? Is that what you mean? The point here is that people try to bring in, oh, you live in America and you live in Yankee, and that means what we're dealing with is different. Actually, when you break it down, it's the same issues. What it looks like on the surface are different. And so someone like me as a coach, I have to know that. So I know the cultural stuff, the surface level, but ultimately when we break it down, it's the same issues. It's coconut head and unrealistic expectations. No, it's not money. No. I know you think it's money and cheating. Money and cheating, that's completely different story. I'm talking about you that you're married, you're inside of that marriage. Even when you trace that cheating all the way around, you trace it back, it comes back to coconut head and unrealistic expectations. But who's going to help you map it properly back to what those things are? That's a lot of work. It's easier said than done. You're not going to self-diagnose. You need help. You need support to walk through these kind of things. Because what you find is this is how you know that you have the wrong solution or no solution at all. Whatever you tend to talk about all the time, you don't mind talking about it. It's painful, but you still talk about it, but you're not getting to any kind of resolve. You're stuck. It's toxic, right? How? Well, you're coconut head. I know you're not a proud person. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the inner coconut head. That, you know, somebody said inner peace. There's an inner coconut head, like very stubborn, that it's very hard to break it, right? There's something there. For you, not your partner yet. Your partner, they married you or you married them. There was something about you that they liked. So that means you still have that kind of power, but you've disengaged from that power. So you don't know what you're doing. So they are moving mad. Oh, how? Because they see you finish. They're taking you for granted. What is it about you that make them feel that it's okay to take you for granted? That's the question we need to answer. Right? How are we going to bring them to the table so we can judge them and blame them? That's not the answers you're looking for. You probably have done a good job at doing that on your own. You can judge them, you can blame them, call them names, remind them of their traumatic childhood, call them narcissists. You're probably good at that. You're better at that than me. And I don't think that's the solution. All right. So men are domesticated abroad. Men are more feminine, emasculated. Those are real ways that men feel. Men do feel that way. All right. And they don't have to wash pata before they feel that way. Just the wrong mouth talking at them will make them feel that way. That is a real thing. Okay. Most Oyibo people that I have seen are still married for a long time. So in one breath, you're saying Oyibo people don't have culture. In another breath, you're fantasizing about the idea that Oyibo people just stay married forever. In what world do you live in? What kind of world do you live in? Because that's not true. That's not true. Oyibo people are the worst. They wait 35, 55 years before they dump your ass. Mrs. Folonshaw Alakija style. And it hurts more. Your old age, your wife just randomly, you can't even carry girlfriends around anymore. Just randomly left your ass, just like that. Mr. Alakija will be fine, by the way. But just, you know what I'm saying? This comparison, we're talking about the comparison syndrome. This is how you shoot yourself on the legs. Stop comparing your wife, your spouse, your culture to other people's culture. Focus on yourself. You started that relationship, you started a marriage. So it's now in the poto. You have the power to change the dance. You have the power. It's just a matter of a decision. You just choose not to ever be a victim again. You just decide, I'm no longer going to be a victim. Right? Once you decide that, the next step will present itself. It might be leave the marriage. It might be, okay, there's something we can work with here. But you need to first of all decide that I'm no longer going to be or play the victim anymore. You cannot play the victim and have your engage your power in the same breath. It's a struggle. Okay. Somebody said mothers are teaching daughters to go to school so that no man can ride them, while Oyibo women go to the school to meet their husband. Oyibo people teach their daughters to go to college, university, to go and meet their husband. These are some of the lame, dumb talking points that men are repeating to themselves out there. Okay? I don't think Oyibo people are sitting around and say, hey, you go to college to go and meet a husband. Okay? Now, there's some truth to it. If it's landing, if it's connecting with nerves and it's going viral, that means there's some level of truth to it. So let's not deceive ourselves. The reality is that the black culture, especially the pop culture, right, has encouraged more and more of the stripping apart the family values. Okay? A lot of that can be traced to a lot more deeper issues that we can generalize and talk about, and we can talk about that at a macro level, societal level. But why? Let's talk about you. None of this has to be your reality. In anywhere you go, right? The top people are the top people. They don't bother about what's going on of majority of people in the bottom of the they don't care. I mean, not that they don't care, but in terms of like nobody says, hey, let me look at the number of people that apply to universities. I'm going to decide to apply based off of how many people are accepted. Do you do that when you apply for college? Do you say, hey, how many people that try to become a doctor? What's the percentage of people that become a doctor? And then you're going to decide not to be a doctor off of that. You know how many people will just not go become a doctor off of that number? It's the same thing with marriages. Don't use any of these crazy stats, even including ones I give you. Don't use them to shoot yourself on the legs. You are an individual. Your marriage is one individual marriage, and it can be at the top of marriages. It's a matter of choice. It's a matter of choice. It's like anything else you're going to do in life. You learn how to do it and you do it well. But wait, what about my husband? You're not listening, are you? Forget your husband for a second. And your wife, if you're a man. Let's talk about you. But it takes two to tango. You're not listening, are you? Are you tangoing? Why are you talking about tango? Let's talk about you. You. Oh Lord. There are mental stressors everywhere, even if you live inside the cave. Exactly. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. Oyinbo people and people that live abroad are just mad. So, because you pay so much bills and you just wake up and go all of that can be controlled. It's just a matter of choice. You and your wife, you work all the time. You can strip it down. The companies you work for, sometimes they downsize. Sometimes they lay all of you off because the number know they add up anymore. You can't do the same thing with your marriage. Wait now, they will help you do it in divorce court. They will help you. They will divide that money for you. And not only that, the lawyers will take about 50% of all the money together. You can sit down and talk about it. That lifestyle you're chasing after, you can build it, but one layer at a time. It shouldn't be done at the expense of your marriage and the future of your children. The question is, how do I get help for this mental stress and how to relate to my spouse while I'm experiencing the problem? Yep. Oyinbo may appear to be happily married because everyone can decide to be superficial. MOP, this comparison thing is a problem that needs to stop. Yes, the comparison syndrome is everywhere. Because that's what creates gender war. They're comparing their own counterparts to other people's counterparts. When men do it, it's actually worse in my opinion. Because the worst thing is a man who can't figure his own shit out and is now comparing to another man's society. It's just a bad picture. Like, it doesn't look good. It's like what part of you is a man again? It's just terrible. But we have kind of like an epidemic of it right now on social media. Majority of people don't do that, but social media, even if it's only 10-20% of people talking on social media, they are the one influencing the mindset of people that are listening to the social media. So it's a conversation that we have to keep going. All right. And then somebody said, let the stories of your ancestors be the guiding light for your marriage. Let the stories of your ancestors' marriages be the guiding light, right? In what other institution do we do that? Right? Now, the truth is that you have to know where you're coming from in order to know where you're going. There are things we learn from the past. There's no question about that, right? But there's something called learning from the past, lessons from the past, and there's something called obsessing with the past. You're obsessed with the past. Okay, obviously, you see how I'm saying it. that's bad. Nothing nothing good is gonna come out of that, right? You have to learn how to say, okay, this is what I learned. I as a person, if you found something, you as a man, you found a way your dad moved, and you really admired it, you saw it work for him. You just focus on practicing that. That's gonna attract what is going to attract from your wife. Okay, and if you like it, you keep doing it. Problem solved. But if you are in a place that what you did with your father is attracting the wrong result, Baba, don't you think you should pay attention to that? At least ask some more questions around that. Like, okay, why is it that? Like, why is it that I did what my father did, but my wife is? Oh, I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna say, hey, it's because our mothers was different, right? Somebody said our mothers were much more different. In what way? Can you at least explain that? Okay, because I don't disagree that our mothers might be different in certain respects. Can you tell me which aspects of being a wife were our mother better at? Can you now add the context that you were not married to your mother? The person who was married to your mother, have you ever had a conversation with the person that was married to your mother? Have you taken the time and say, Pops, what was it like being married to my mother? Did you ask good questions? Because if you just ask, because our fathers will, before you know it, they might tell you like, and you kids of nowadays are different, because your father is also watching social media. Your father is a fan of very the dark man. So, or Sheol Kuti, Sheol Kuti is a disrespectful moron, by the way. And you're not like, did you take the time to ask your father, what do you like the most about being married to my mom? Okay, Dad, I'm going to ask you a question. I need an honest answer now. What didn't you like? What is it that you wish you had done better? Or you wish your mom, your wife, my mother, like, what is it that, I know you love her to death and you guys love each other these days, but what is it that it took you time to really learn about her that created a lot of challenges? What challenges did you go through? Did you ask such questions? In your own language, in your own dialect, did you ask? No, you didn't. You're just running around the internet, running your mouth. Exactly. You didn't ask any questions. You didn't ask any intelligent questions. You're just running around the internet, running your mouth. It's not good. Okay? There's a lot we can fantasize about the past that we can bring to the forefront. There's no institution in life that doesn't leverage other things from the past. We still have bridges that were built 30, 40, 70 years ago that we're still riding on. They're still good, but they're maintaining them. Do you pay attention to that? They're maintaining them. And in places where they don't maintain them, they crumble. And it kills people. It destroys people. Buildings collapse and destroy people when they don't maintain them. They don't say, well, the buildings of there back then, what they do is they're building smarter buildings. And in societies where they don't pay attention to building code, guess what? They destroy people. What makes you think marriage is going to be any different? Because again, I'm not saying you can't learn anything from the past. But what exactly are you learning from the past? I think you're just fantasizing about the highlights, the beautiful part. Because your mother is your mother. So the way she's been a mother to you, are you internalizing that, thinking she was a wife in the same manner? Do you have enough emotional intelligence to even assess this conversation? These are the issues. Anyway, Anna Yu says, it's actually recreating the past. My soon-to-be ex always says that I don't respect him because I complain about his verbal abuse. So it's a struggle. You're going to create what you don't want. But you're not even digging deeper enough to see that it's not what you want. It's not what you want. What your parents had is not what you want. It doesn't mean it wasn't good for them. It's not good for you. You live in a different context, a different era. Okay? There might be aspects of it you can learn from. There usually is some kind of aspect you can learn from. But you're not going to come up with that unless you actually engage them and have an intelligent, wisdom-driven conversation. If you haven't done that, please stop fantasizing based off of what you observed on the surface. Yes, just because you were their children, you live in the same house, does not mean that you know what went down in that relationship. It does not mean. I don't know how to spell that out for you. It doesn't mean that too. Let's be careful on what we fantasize about. Anyway, that was that. I wanted to hear some questions for you. All right, because I didn't see any questions, so I have questions for you. Okay. Number one question. These are the questions I want you to process. You can answer in the chat now if you want, but I just want you to process them because I want to catch a little cruise before we leave. I like cruise. How's that? All right. Is the idea of the right person a harmful myth that sets unrealistic expectations for marriage? So note that. Let's go on to the second one. How does social media contribute to the future of modern marriages through the grass is greener syndrome? Quiz time, pop quiz, pop quiz, pop quiz. Think about it. Okay, I want you to process it. Give me an answer in the chat or in the comments later on. That's fine. Are dual income households and evolving gender roles, or devolving, if you like to call it that way, confusing marital dynamics and leading to less stable marriages? That one will be a yes or no question. Is there a cultural bias against international? I said national. Is there a cultural bias against international marriages, and do societal pressures or cultural differences disproportionately affect their success? That's another cultural based question. All right, think about it. Let me know whichever one you want me to pull to the forefront. I'll pull it back to the forefront. This one says, are women today expecting too much from marriage compared to previous generations? And has this pursuit of personal fulfillment led to higher divorce rates? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We're getting there. We're getting there. All right. Does the influence of digital and social media exacerbate issues like unrealistic expectations, egotistical pride, and comparison syndrome in modern marriages? Jump questions, right? Do compatibility issues, including bad sex and attraction problems, or like I said, there are no sex at all, contribute more to modern marriage failures than in the past? All right. Another one. Are modern marriages failing due to a lack of emotional intelligence, support, and effective communication skills? Your answers might be yes, but no, but but make sure you tell me which question you're answering to when you're answering them. Thank you. I would like to know what your thoughts are about these questions. Is the traditional notion of men working and covering all the bills while women spend on luxuries and expect help in the kitchen creating resentment in marriages? This is an interesting question. There's something I would like you to pick up about this question. I'm hoping somebody picks it up. This is an interesting question. Let me ask the question again. Is the traditional notion of men working and covering all the bills while women spend on luxuries and expect help in the kitchen creating resentment in marriages? There's an attribute of this question I'm hoping that somebody will pick it up. Last but not least, are societal and family pressures, such as in-law influence and the desire to keep up with the Joneses, more detrimental to modern marriages than in the past? Those are all the jam questions that I have. Sparkleberry say, what? Why all this comparison? This one tire me. I know. I feel you on that. All right, so I want to play some videos. I want to catch a little bit of cruise with some of the stories we've been covering, the dark man and all that kind of stuff. All right, he just posted a video 1 hour ago. I'm about to play that right now. Let's do that. Okay, so he thinks it's a joker. Let's see. I'll share the screen with you. How's that? Aha. This video you just released
comes with fighting for people, especially when the people that you are fighting against is powerful, is that you will suffer. And the bad part about this thing, we say, I don't enter so deep. Maybe say I don't even feel come out again.
No, wait. Before you continue, watch this. This is how it came out. He wants to be popular. Let's make him popular. Hold on 1 second. Hold on.
All right.
Wait, before you say all right, shout out to Gene. Let me put this right here for Gene. I'll be right back in 20 seconds. We offer evidence-based relationship and marriage resources and coaching to help you navigate the difficult times.
Don't just wing it. Learn the principles that work.
Download our 2 free books and book your complimentary coaching session now at manofprestige.com. All right. Let's go.
You know the truth, the one thing that comes with fighting for people, especially when the people that you are fighting against is powerful, is that you will suffer. And the bad part about this thing, we say, I don't enter so deep. Maybe say I don't even feel come out again. I can't come out of it again. Even if I try to come out, I can't. And I can't just abandon all the people that are complaining. If you see my DM now, please help me. This one collected 2,500,000, 300,000. Bro, sometimes I want to leave it, but I can't. That's just the problem. I can't leave the people alone right now, so I gotta just continue. So what happened today was, I was just lying down, beside this my one room, as you all know. I was just lying down, and then boom, I just hear say my neighbor. I hear quarrel for gate. Neighbor, I just they go on. Me I say, I can't peep, I can't say policemen who gone there. I just say, okay, now my neighbor they fight. And to be honest, I know they feel fine, right? So I just open door, make I go say, what's going on? What's going on? Now police say, na me they fight. As they say na me, I say, hey, whoa, na me. Yes, okay. What happened? They say petition will be filed against you by so that you say the person carry dollars, he scam person in life savings, let's go. I said, okay, no problem. I reached there. I mean, the police were nice, So I got to the place. I wrote my statements. I told them why I said it, And the truth is this, right? Like I said, for me, you understand, there are some things I cannot allow. Nigeria is in a bad shape right now, and a lot of people have given up hope. A lot of people have given up hope in Nigeria, which is why if you talk, some people will say, man, this talk is too much, A lot of people will say one or two things, just to... It is not because they don't want to fight for the betterment of Nigeria, It is because they're already becoming used to... it's like a Stockholm syndrome, yeah? They know what the people are doing. They know what these so-called orgas are doing is bad, but they can't say anything, right? Because at the end of it's just a Stockholm syndrome, So I was there, called my lawyer, he's on say we don't talk, I don't tell him all the things when I get as per, in my video, I actually brought out some evidences, right? So those evidences, I told them, my lawyer get them. So I was calling my lawyer, he didn't come on time. I call him, but I still called, then finally, Barrister Adeji called me, so sent a senior lawyer to come, Barrister Mavi. He came, started talking, but there's this other lawyer that is handling that case. Oh, so my phone memory don't full. Now I did video calls before. So at the end of the day, called the lawyer came, called one or two big people, they very dark one is okay, no problem. Everybody started calling, told them that Alpha, man, I gotta go home, I know they run, you understand? So you don't go lock me up because I know they run. And then again, even though you claim saying defamation, defamation is a bailable offense. as you all know. But as for me, myself, I know we just can't talk with evidence. And God bear me witness, yeah, and a person at the help fight. Ever since I did do this thing, I want more to call everybody why I don't help collect money online. I never collect 1 naira for their hand. You know, I've never collected a penny from their hand, penny. And let me bust your head. A lot of all those petitions are my.
All right. Let's do this. Babe Win said, Onirano, I pray he doesn't use his hand to kill himself. So, all right. I actually want to elevate the conversation beyond just the characters. This guy is just a character in a big ass story. Okay? It's very easy to get stuck in that, or, oh, I support VDM, I'm against VDM. If you're on either side of that, you don't get it. It doesn't matter, honestly. The conversation is much bigger. If you're looking for lessons, the conversation is much bigger than VDM or anybody. If anything, pay attention to the comments. Okay? Let's pay attention to the comments that are coming in. See how people are reacting to this. That's where your lessons are going to mostly come from. See how people are responding to a lot of these basbos. That's how you extract the most lessons out of this. Okay? It teaches you how people think. It teaches you human behavior, right? You see somebody here says, welcome back, the president of the Rattel gang. With you I stand. I can support you, VDM, with my token if you don't mind. Okay, somebody says, stubborn, you have a role. Another person says, at this stage, GoFundMe is needed to see VDM through. Okay. He normally doesn't even leave the comment open. So he left his comment open here. Maybe he might shut it down later on. Rattel King, allow them to keep playing. They have not seen anything. Well, if we learn anything from this, you know that trying to control narrative on the internet, I've always said that here, it's a bad idea. Don't try to control narrative. Don't try to shut down the youth or anything like that. We've covered that extensively here. The same thing I said about Very Dark Man is what I said about Oga Polo, right? I said both of them better know what they're doing. Okay, because all is fair in love and war, right? So they better know what they're doing. So if he's a person who doesn't really have any power beyond his mouth, he'll collect. If you're a person and you have a lot of powers, but you're trying to shut down the narrative on the internet, you self will collect. Because it's going to be very hard. You see how Tunde had not stopped posting him now. You see that other blogs are not your mate. They're picking it up. They see it as traffic. You know, Tunde had not... He's consistent. He has relationships he has to protect. So, and I don't judge him for that. But that doesn't mean that Very Dark Man is not going to go even more viral. That's the way it works. Just because it's negative and basbos doesn't mean people don't want to see it. In fact, that's when people want to see it more, because people are attracted to negativity more than they are attracted to positivity. As a matter of fact, they're not necessarily attracted to positivity. They have to be intentional about engaging positivity, and being intentional means you understand that in the long run, that's what's good for you as an individual. That's the only thing that will make people engage positivity. They don't have to think about long run before they engage negativity. All you need is a very solid negative headline. People, no matter how perfect they are, they will engage it. Those are the things you need to be learning about human behavior. Not picking sides, it's Very Dark Man or not. Who cares? It's going to be what it's going to be. There are people like Very Dark Man that came out of nowhere and became a Nelson Mandela at some point, right? Maybe we are capping. We don't know. Only time will tell, right? I would tell you, I would never train my kids to become a Very Dark Man. That's reckless. Or a Sheung Kuti. I would never. It doesn't make any sense, because most human beings are not going to get away with such behavior. They will literally shoot themselves on the legs and then call bad wolf and then cry wolf later on and say, hey, the whole world is just evil. It's just me that I'm perfect because I'm fighting for people. By the way, whenever he says that, he's gaslighting the rest of the world. Oh, I'm fighting for people. And you know, when you fight for people, that's complete nonsense. It doesn't have to be disrespectful to other individuals, rich or not, in order to fight for people. It doesn't have to be that. He chose to do that because he's a disrespectful person. All right, That doesn't mean it's not going to win in life. Don't get it twisted. Life is not your Nollywood movie where bad people always end up with bad stories. No, you just don't have any idea what's going on behind the scenes. Okay, and some people can cook up being a bad person. I doubt it, but some people can actually cook it up and look like they're the bad person because they know he chases clout. There's some people like that. Okay, so but what we can tell you right now for real is that the police is picking him up random willy-nilly because it's running his mouth. In this case, it's an actual case that some lady was trying to take somebody's 1 million naira away, right? The lady who said something to the effect of excuse me, can't you just leave 1 million naira for a fine babe like me? And it was supposed to be business. So very dark man, people like him, they have a lot of good work they're doing, but they're also disrespectful, and two wrongs cannot make a right, right? No, those are two different things. You're a disrespectful person, right? The same Seun Kuti, right, slapped a policeman in the middle of the street because they disrespected his family. Do you remember that? Okay. So in the same breath that is trying to fight the system. So these people, a lot of the people commenting here and taking sides are confused people. And they are the people, they are the suckers. Not you guys, obviously. They are the suckers that you need to be paying attention to their behavior. But because there's a high chance you're like one of them. But when you know better. When you're aware, you know better. When you see this kind of drama going around the internet, you can analyze it like I do. But know when to stop. Don't take sides. It's not necessary. You have no idea what side who belongs to what. You have no idea, right? Somebody said this guy too stubborn. Somebody said I miss you, sugar. I panicked for the first time. Very truthful, stubborn black man. Okay. So stubbornness can be good in certain respects. It depends. But just outrightly, willy-nilly jumping around the internet and just calling people out of their names, or saying they slept with their daughter and things like that. No, I don't agree with that. Like, no, there's no way to justify that just because it's fighting for the what do you call it? The hopeless. He gets to just run around and disrespect people. In what world? No, there's no way for me to agree with that. Anyway, here's another one. Auntie Yabo is involved in this. She came online about 2 hours ago. Listen to this.
Please, can somebody help me call Seun Kuti?
Babes Win said he is too disrespectful. In fact, to me, he's a bully. I think he's a bully, actually.
This video.
I think he's a bully too.
Kuti. I need someone to help me.
There are bullies that will hide under the brand of I'm an activist. Absolutely, absolutely, yeah.
To this video.
She's calling that Seun Kuti to come and listen to this video.
Seun Kuti.
Let's see what she says.
I have known you for a very long time. You may not know me, but I have known you. Because my father was a friend to your father. And I've known you for a very long time. Yes. Adekunle Ogunro was a friend to your father.
Let me see if I can find a version of this video I can scroll.
And I want to respond to you. Now, when this issue all started, I'm responding to you because I saw the live video you did recently about Polo tagging you. You understand?
She's talking to Seun Kuti because Seun Kuti took sides with Very Dark Man in an half-assed way, you know.
I don't have any issue about him tagging you.
Let me see if I can
But
find.
I have an issue with the way you mix your words and deceive people with your words. And I'm going to take everything one by one. But I need you to listen to me, Seun.
Okay,
Listen
I found one.
very well to me. The last time that you came out to support Very Dark Man, that you made a video and you mentioned my name, I sent you a message.
Let's use this one right here.
You all call him an activist, right? For those of you that call him an activist. Why would one activist want to pull down another activist? Deceive people, manipulate people, defame people, confuse people.
Let's see if we can fast forward that.
Hi guys, you welcome back to our channel.
No, I need a video, Baba. A video, Baba.
Has also
Activist.
Thank you, though.
Deceive
Shout out to
people,
Bob with
manipulate
Gomet.
people, defame people, confuse people.
You're confusing people. She has a good point. You're helping people. You're digging boreholes. You've dug one so far. But you're manipulating people. You're teaching people the wrong things. Right? You're gaslighting people. You're disrespectful to people. And somehow because you help a few people. Okay. Quite a few people. Okay. About 2,000 people. I don't know what the numbers are. You just get a free pass to be disrespectful to strangers to the extent of libel and defamation? Is that how that works?
Just to prove a point. We all came out to say, okay, we are fighting for justice for Mohbad. My fight for justice for Mohbad was different. The way the boy died, the way he was buried, the way he was bullied. That was my own fight for justice. Wanted to make sure that all the people that bullied him were being brought forward. Wanted to make sure that they investigate him, find out the cause of his death, and that was why we pleaded the government to exhume his body, to take whatever they wanted to take out, to check what was the cause of his death, so that they can start a proper investigation. And then was also to give him a befitting burial, to bury him properly well. That was my own call for justice for Mohbad. Now, in the course of doing this, obviously different people will have different opinions, different ideas, different views to the matter, which was okay. Your very dark man had a right to have his own opinion. But what was the insult all about? So a young boy, that if I was to give birth on time, will bet him, will sit in front of his camera like I'm sitting so, and be giving me instructions, and then I will be following it because I don't understand. When we started this, if he felt the need that we were not doing things right, he could have come out, he would have gone to the police, sat down with them, and lay all his ideas on the table. And then we will see, okay, the police listens to everybody. At that time, everybody could walk into the station and view their opinion on whatever it is. Why would you come on social media? You are trying to say something and then you're indirectly or directly insulting the people that are doing all their best to try to get justice for this boy. I will start.
All right, so just so you know, at a personal level to Auntie Yabo, what she's doing right now is not going to help. This is what they call Shalaye.
We go explain because no evidence.
All right, remember, never put yourself in a position to swim with pigs. Don't do it. You're not going to win that game. If you want to be pig with them and you feel like you have a side of you that's pig, please, by all means, knock yourself out. Okay? By all means. But you can see here, that was something she did about 2 hours ago. I think Sheon has a response, I guess. But what she's saying is that even you, Sheon, you're manipulating people because they're saying that Very Dark Man has a role in society. They're trying to make it about the fact that it's an activist. It's cool to be an activist. The point is that, do you really have to be disrespectful to randoms? Okay, well, he didn't start it. It was Polo that brought his mouth into... Okay, I'm not about to go back and forth and say who started what and what and what like that, right? It doesn't matter. And by the way, respect in the context of culture is different from respect is earned. People are bringing in respect is earned. Sheon said respect is earned. Some people are saying respect is reciprocal. That's not respect in the cultural context. Respect is when you have elders. There's certain people that have earned certain positions in society. The same reason why you say your excellency to people. That might have been earned in terms of the work to get into that position, but not from that person as an individual. Right? So the same thing when somebody's an elder, the same way the excellency, that position, right? You honor that position, right? So do you owe them? No, you don't owe them that, but we can state the fact. The fact is that respect in that context is not the same thing as when you say respect is earned or respect is reciprocal. No, you only remember that it's not reciprocal when you are trying to leverage their position to get something. Please, because of your position, help me talk to this person, right? Or you're an elder, other people can listen to you. Can you help me talk to my wife? You remember that somehow they deserve that at that point when you need them. Because when somebody is in a position of elder, they bring minimum experience to the table. They bring wisdom to the table, right? So, and that's a big part of how you move forward in future, right? That's how you move ahead in future. So we're not just going to pretend and start bringing in respect is earned and respect is reciprocal in this conversation. That woman called the mother out because it was disrespectful to her as a much more elderly woman to him. Okay? If I were her or somebody else, I would have advised her, these ones, they will just try to manipulate you or gaslight you with respect is reciprocal. Don't expect respect from these mad people. I would have advised her accordingly. But, well, we're having the conversation now. For anybody who cares to listen, please stop mixing up all kind of... That's what she's accusing Sheon of right now. You're trying to mix up nonsense with nonsense. You're creating nonsense. That's what's happening. But Sheon is about to answer. Let's see what he has to say. She did call him a confusionist. You're confusing people. He is confusing people. But anybody who is confused by Sheon, you deserve to be confused by Sheon, by the way. Let's keep going. Let me see if I can find a video I can scroll to.
Nigerians, una too like,
you know that now.
Back and forth. 4,700. Nah.
4,700.
These are gossip mongers.
Of course. At least he's smart enough to know that.
This is not my crowd. Hello, everybody.
This is not your crowd. No, they're waiting. They know you're disrespectful, and they're ready for the bass bulls.
You know, as a don in town, also as somebody protected and informed by the ASS, as you all know, the Ancestral Secret Service, that ass. You know, that ass. They be informing me, they be protecting me. I don't know. I can't see. Listen, Africans, every freedom we have accomplished in our life is inspired by the ancestors. The story of Haiti, take your time. Somebody made a comment in my... God, they always fight for young people for Nigeria. You know, somebody made a comment in my Instagram. They say, all the information we need in this world, the internet is a library. People would have to say, give me book. Do you have this book? Give me your book. Give me. The internet is a library. All the books of this world are available for free on the internet. All the information. The internet contains the entire declassified information of humanity. We go explain because no evidence.
All right, let's play this one.
All of us adopt, for every state, everybody adopt 3 primary school, adopt 3 public secondary school, adopt 1 university. Okay, stop. Let people live. Okay, now invest in this. Unilag don't give honorary degree tire. Nobody where Unilag never give degree. They may make Unilag just look portable now. I mean, they give an honorary degree because of 1.5 billion. They never still see the money. They never still see the money. If they say she won't say somebody. Now somebody this, so even when they go to the banks where they fund all this their business, where they go take loan, all this, they go to the bank. So this 7 billion now, They never pay back. Femi Falana can't ask them. He write letter. Femi Falana wrote a petition to the government, say, where is this money? Why these people? Why this bank? This is not a public institution. Bank is a private business. Not because they make the profit of the bank, share them with Nigerians. These people take the profit of the bank and share it for themselves and their family and their friends and their people. So why should Nigerians be the ones bailing them without collecting the money back? It wasn't a gift. When the government tell us they won't give them the money, government not using a gift. So Nigerians allow, say they will pay back. Because instead of us to close down all this bank, make new bank they open, before we sell all their property to return people money, all those kind of things, because government just won't save their life. So imagine if all these bank owners now just close down, say, if you see your money, government say you just wait like 3-4 years. So they fit sell all assets to give you your money. Say any of them go fit breathe for this Nigeria. People don't go food their house. So it's not only the paying back, government they try to save their life. By keeping their banks open after they don't chop all the money, they can do nonsense. Government they try to save their life. Carry 7 billion, give them. Till today, government can't tell Femi Falana say, they don't dash them. Quietly, nobody make noise. Now VDM, say I will do DNA. Everybody will come and say, come make noise. I say government carry $7 billion. They're not to be $7 billion. They will fix all the school in Nigeria with $7 billion. All the university will never go on strike again if they manage. So they just give them $2 billion for the universities. They manage and when nobody fit thief the money. No university in Nigeria will need money for the next maybe 20-25 years.
Video he ever did. He said, I'm not smart. Smart. How would you feel when someone that is your child's range age, because anybody under 20-something years old, by the 29, by the 28, and mommy 20 is not new, will come and be telling you are not smart. If you look at the car, you will see that these people, then if you look at when you enter the house, you will see that this. Now, do you think that I will be pursuing a case and I will not have asked the police people what is going on, who and who have been called, who have gone for statement, who and who has been arrested, who and who are they investigated? Do you think the police you think they don't know what they are doing?
Contains the entire declassified information that humanity has to offer. Use it well. That's what the guy said. Saying, and I don't want the user, but the same thing, he doesn't understand that the human mind is also conditioned. There's a conditioning aspect.
You see, that all that is gas. That's what the people call the gaslighting, by the way. Okay. Oh my God, Igbo is about something. Oh, this ones they will shalaye tired, as usual. But let me just look at the comments. Like I said, we just want to pay attention to the comments. I'm looking at the comments here. Organized abandonment, the so-called rich, the Nigeria working professionals, he called them, the people in our dollar institution. Also, Auntie Yabo is addressed. Keep streaming day, featuring Damian Marley. Okay, it's a new song. All right. No, Iya didn't call you a Confucianist. She said, don't confuse Yabis, because Iyabojo was saying, you're saying Yabis, but her character was actually defamed because this young man is accusing her of sleeping with the same man with her daughter, and he has this person's name. He didn't mention name, but he uses the videos of Iyabojo. That's stupid. That's as stupid as they are, right? So now he's getting arrested back and forth. But maybe new arrest is coming, right? Who knows? Anyway, I don't think Iyabojo is going to get much from this. Maybe she'll be justified. Some people just care about justification more than in terms of this. I don't think there's any economy value in her going back and forth with this guy. Maybe some attention, I guess, since everybody's following VDM now. She said Yabis is different from defamation, that you shouldn't mix it up in the case. So he kept saying that it was just a Yabis, that you can't sue people or stuff like that. And then Yabo is saying Yabis is not defamation of character. And then she also said I sent him back to his mother because this is a person much younger as a Yoruba woman. That's context. By the way, all of that context is addressed in the court systems too. Even if you are here in this court in America, they will address the context. There's a lot of lame people that would think, oh, it's just black and white when you get to court. No, it is not. That's why there's a court with hearings. It is not. Those are human beings. If you do a good job at breaking it down, they will use, that's going to be something that will be considered. Cultural context. All right. Sure, honestly, I get your point, but in my opinion, I feel you are manipulatively twisting the context. There you go. I didn't even see that yet. And I stand corrected. I think IYB, Iyabo Ojo, was addressing you specifically in regard to you saying she's oppressing VDM, and I don't think she mentioned anything wrong. Same way you feel entitled to express is same way she should express, but to come to your audience and make them see our actions as being oppression is just same way pastors convey members that their problem is from village people is exactly the same thing. That's exactly the same thing. This person is so on point. We should all step back and look again at ourselves. All of us should do that. When we come online, what are we trying to achieve? What is the motive behind our life? Genuinely, I think everyone plays the mind game. Sheon is definitely playing the mind game. Iyabo she's falling victim of it because if she knows any better, she will not engage these people. It's not worth it. It's how you've twisted Iyabo's words for me. Somebody said, you are playing mind game and literally doing what you are accusing her of. When we all know very well you wouldn't tolerate an iota of VDM's disrespect. He wouldn't. He would slap him. We saw him do it. If it was channeled at you. Let me see what replies that's getting. Somebody said you are sounding. Let me read the replies just as passionate. So they don't say, Ola, you caught feelings here too. Somebody is replying the other comment. Say, you are sounding childish, ma. Remember, respect is reciprocal. So how did I know that was going to come? That's crazy, man. That is mad. I'm tired. I'm rounding this up. I'm done. I'm done. Respect is reciprocal. Go and found the genesis of this beef. Finding the genesis of this beef is one of the stupidest things you can do. And it's stupid for Iyabo to be engaging it in that manner too. Okay? There's no genesis in Yoruba cultural, traditional context. There's no genesis of being disrespectful to an elder. Okay? It's not going to benefit anybody. The only thing we can conclude is that VDM is a disrespectful moron. That's all I personally, my opinion, can conclude. Does that mean it's not going to win in life? It doesn't mean anything. This is not your Nollywood movie. Okay? That's why Iyabo should not be engaging unless she's ready to be collecting attention and sell some products. It's not worth it. Okay? It's not worth it. Especially when it's public. If you're going to address a young man for being disrespectful, it should be done in a controlled environment where they can actually pay attention. If it means that much to you too, Iyabo Ojo. Okay. But all of this is a lot of engagement on their pages. So please don't engage this and take sides. It's not worth it. Okay. Just look at the lessons. Look at the comments. Those are the people that gain nothing from this and they are yarning the dust that you need to be careful for in our society. Okay. So in terms of Sheon, VDM and Iyabo and Polo, please don't take anything to heart because the engagement means money for them, just so you know. For the commenters, that's the real truth of the manipulation they are creating. If you know what Sheon did, speak up or forever hold your breath because you really sound dumb with your half statement. You see, they get more disrespectful. It doesn't stop. So now this person that just talked, was Iyabo disrespectful or is there a backstory to it or is just who they are? Is who they are. That person is just a disrespectful moron. They were just looking for the right opportunities, just like VDM, to be disrespectful. Another person, same way Sam Clef and co. did the right thing as well as suing VDM for defamation. He got no evidence of the 65 million he claimed they made. Or alright, Jesus. You slapped a policeman and you still have the guts to call Iyabo an oppressor. Really? Honestly, I was being careful by saying that because I don't know the full story behind the policeman thing. But clearly other people feel that same way. If you love VDM, like my comment, Sherry. Really. Thanks for standing with VDM, okay? I just wait for your response for their queen mother. I feel their queen mother. I notice when all of these big celeb get issues and one call one, but hardly will you see their colleagues and yeah. So the celeb, big celebs, big people in society, the elites, if they call each other and they favor each other and stuff like that, right? The only way to fight that is still case by case. If there's anybody that's oppressed, you handle that issue. You don't just start spreading disrespect around in the name of respect is reciprocal. It's stupid. It's not like, I can't sugarcoat that. Okay, I can't sugarcoat it. And you know what? VDM, Shenkuti are going to be all right. Iyabo Ojo and Polo, they're going to be just fine. You're not going to be fine if you're taking sides with it and you go carbon copy this behavior into your life. Context is everything. Context, not content. Context is everything. It's not about using the right words and right phrases. All of that is useless if you don't dig deeper and understand the context. Because words will take on new meanings in different environments. That's what we mean by context. Words, oral, will take on new meanings in different environments. Respect is earned. I do tend to say that within a romantic relationship. That's a different context. But even inside of the romantic relationship itself, it just depends, a case by case. What are we talking about? Kilo shele gogono, ibolo. How did we get here? Okay. Now that sounds contradictory to. There's no need to say how did we get here when it comes to respect, because again, it's a different context. Okay, it's a different context. Now, Polo engaged very dark man in a way, another man in a way that's considered disrespectful as well. So I'm not talking about Polo. I'm actually talking about Obi Kubana. Obi Kubana did not mention his name. All he said was like, bloggers, please stop giving attention to young people that are disrespectful to elders. That's all he said. I don't think that warrants any disrespect. Unless you are just a disrespectful person by nature, of course. Anything, you can tailor anything to warrant disrespect. That's what you do. That's why Shewan is engaged in this conversation. This is just what he does. Just a few weeks ago, for whatever reason, he was on a show. Abati had an opinion and he started calling Abati Agbaya. Ruben Abati, journalist on Arise News. So there you have it. I'm going to end it right here. It doesn't matter what happened between Shewan and the police. He doesn't have the right to slap him. Can he do that in the Western countries? Yeah, you touch a police here, you will learn about tyranny that day. You'll be locked away forever. Oh, it never happened to Igbo people. Touch a police here. Let's see you do it. Touch a police here. Try it. Igbo people, they just always do the right thing, in your opinion. This election that's coming up, you're going to see the level of tyranny you've never seen before in your life. People that they always do the right thing. Igbo people, you're going to find out some new things about the Igbo nation that you never seen before. The only thing you can learn out of all of this is emotional and social intelligence. Emotional and social intelligence. It's not right or wrong. It's not black and white. There are some nuances. There are contexts that you should start learning how to pay attention to. It's not because when you start to see someone like Sheon who would slap a policeman, now fighting for VDM, and then calling yabis and misplacing yabbing a person with actual defamation of character. We're all emotional beings, All right, the only thing you can do about that is just make sure you're engaged. Make sure you're engaged with your own self. Learn how this stuff works, because I don't know, the conversation will stop at some point, because me, I don't have time to argue back and forth, honestly. That's all I have for you today. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. I'm going to be dropping tons of videos. Be on the lookout. Subscribe, turn up your notifications, okay? And also keep coming back to check, because sometimes the notifications are not on. I want to say a quick shout out to Babes Wind and Sparkleberry for rocking it out with me, and Black Diamond. I appreciate you all. Anna, I see you. I see all Lachi. Shout out to you. I appreciate you for being here. All right. And if you are interested in the complimentary coaching session, I will be running them tomorrow. So make sure you send in your messages. Just send a request for a complimentary coaching session to 732 +1 732 305 8577. It's right here on the screen right now. That number right there. So it's also scrolling on the screen till the end of the show. Hopefully you've been enlightened and educated. I will see you on the next one. Peace. We offer evidence-based relationship and marriage resources and coaching to help you navigate the difficult times.
Don't just wing it. Learn the principles that work.
Download our 2 free books and book your complimentary coaching session now at manofprestige.com.